And my name is Subhash, and I'm the trainer for this today's demo. And I have been with IT for last 5 years. That is my professional career. So before going to today's demo topic, let me know your profile as well. Like, do you have any exposure with Pega, and how much experience you have in IT industry?
Uh, Actually, I don't have any exposure with Pega, but I have a fair idea of how the Pega works because in my organization they use Pega as a BPM tool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then my background, like I have around 12 plus years of experience on a data warehousing.
Mm-hmm. You
Yeah,
have tons of experience.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that's good.
and I'm interested to learn Pega
Yeah.
and
That is
and
fine. So, Soma, can you, if you have any questions for today's demo, so generally, before going to demo, I will take note of all the questions. So I will address all those questions. So if you have any questions for today's demo, it may be training related, it may be topic related, anything. So
training related in the sense like I mean like yeah, like is that how you train, or is that like a okay, basically how many projects will be I mean working on this Pega now?
how many can I can didn't
I
clear.
mean, for training purpose,
Mm-hmm.
do you create only one demo project, or do
Okay.
you have any? Yeah,
Okay. How
uh,
many applications we will create?
yeah. I mean, and which are those, like any specific domain?
Okay. Okay. Any
Okay,
other?
the point here is I'm expecting something like which is related to banking and insurance.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Do you have any other questions?
or at least healthcare.
Okay.
Okay, and then about the training classes, like if I miss a training class because of my odd hours for working, okay, is there any backup for that?
Okay.
Okay, and then if you want to close our training a bit fast, so do you take on weekends, like some 3 to 4 hours, and to so that we can finish our batch?
Mm.
Yeah,
Do you have any other questions?
should not be.
Okay. So we go by Raghavendra. So Raghavendra, may I know your profile as well?
Hello.
Okay.
Yeah, hi, this is Raghavendra.
Yeah. Hi Raghavendra.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Pega. I'm
Okay.
very new to this Pega.
Okay.
So previously I worked as an Oracle database administrator.
Okay.
So I have 3 years of IT experience.
Yeah, that is fine. So do you have any questions for today's demo? It may be topic related, it may be anything.
No questions mean what kind of applications you will cover in this training classes.
Okay.
Like are you going to cover any banking application or any insurance application? Will you provide any video backups?
Okay. So I will
And
address
You are
all.
going to provide soft copy, right? Hello.
Yeah.
You are going to provide soft copy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
okay, and one more point here actually. sorry, I forgot your name. Hello?
Hello? Yeah, go ahead, Soma.
No, I forgot your name, sorry. Can you?
I'll edit my
Hello?
name here.
Uh,
Hello?
yeah. Ashok, right? Oh, Subhash. Yeah, Subhash. Okay, one more point I was just thinking. Okay, with this training, what kind of job roles I can apply, and then what is the expectation of this?
Okay.
Hi, Subhash.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not asking about the software.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not asking about
Soft copy in the sense the
soft
Sangha
copy
videos.
materials. I'm asking.
Okay.
Yeah, that's materials.
No, but at this point, it will be as part of installation and I would say like hands-on, right? So like how you are going to uh, train us hands-on.
Yep. I will answer all those questions. So I will answer these questions once we complete the demo. First, let me complete the demo. At the end, I mean, in the demo itself, most of the questions will be answered. If anything is missing, I will come back here and
Yeah,
will
fine, okay.
okay.
Yeah.
So generally, I mean, I don't want to discuss more about theory part, like what is Pega BPM. You can get tons of information in Google, but why Pega is important. So I am not talking what is Pega and what is Pega. I simply saying is a BPM tool to develop the business process oriented applications. But now that is the main intention of Pega tool, Pega BPM. So industry people will be using different terminology, Pega PRPC, Pega tool, Pega BPM, all means the same. But
Yes.
now, so right now, I mean, we don't use the term like Pega PRPC, Pega PPM. Pega is a brand, Pega 7. We use Pega 7 rather than other terminals are deprecated. So going forward from Pega 7 version, we are using Pega 7. So it's a bit
When, sorry. When was this Pega 7 released?
nearly 2.5 years back. I don't know exact time, but it's nearly 2014. I mean in the first quarter.
Yeah, great. Okay.
Okay. So yep. Pega BPM, the main aim of this tool here is, I mean, the Pega came this industry BPM space to develop the BPM applications wherever the process is involved. When I say process, let's say if you take a simple example of account opening. So if you want to open the account, it's not like you need to follow some streamlined process. So you need to go to some counter and you need to fill some forms, and then verification will be done by some other counter, and then they will provide some artifacts. So it's not like directly you go to if you go to some banker, they won't provide you artifacts. So each and every customer should follow this process. This is a streamlined process for the account opening. So like this, in the complex business processes, lot of if you take a loan amount, loan application, when you apply for a loan, internally before disbursing the amount for you, internally lot of processes will be involved. Like when you apply for a loan, so first process your loan, and then it will go for manager review, to go for second level manager review, and then it will go for field engineer for review, and then it will go for financial officer. So multiple actors are involved in taking the final decision. So that this process is same for each and every customer. So this is a streamlined process. If you want to build this kind of applications, generally the BPM technology will be used. Maybe any BPM, so Pega also will be used for that purpose. That is the main intention of Pega BPM. But so later, I mean, initially Pega tools will be used for that purpose, but later people are started using Pega tool as developing the portals. Developing the portal means not like you cannot see end user like user portals, but you can see employee portals. Let's say if you go for so we are the customer for ICICI. So if you go to ICICI Bank, they are the employees. So they develop some application related to employee facing, not related to customer facing. If you log in with web application of ICICI, that will be developed by some other technology. But once you submit some request, let's say you're raising some service request from the web, SR request, we call them service request SR, some SRs. It will go for employee for processing. So those kind of applications will be developed generally using the Pega tools. Okay. So, but why that much importance is gained in the industry? What is the main reason? So nowadays people are looking into Pega tool. Why that much importance is given? So what is the advantages comparing with the traditional? We have a lot of technologies in the industry. In the industry. So why people are still looking at the side of Pega? So the first point here I will say is comparison with the traditional programming. I will compare with Java only because Java is a heart for many technologies that are available in the industry right now. So there is a proven statement by Accenture that's saying that Pega BPM, I don't say Pega BPM for going forward, Pega tool is 8 times faster than the Java, traditional programming Java. So in terms of the development time, not in terms of the performance. I'm not talking about performance point of view, I'm talking about in terms of the development time. So why development time is important? So if you think about in the client perspective, so client will always think about the money that they are going to save by using this any technology. So when they go for any technology, the first point they will say is what is for me, what is the benefit for the client. That's what they see. So here, because if you use the Java and if you use the Pega, we are saying Pega is 8 times faster than Java. That means that if you want to develop an application, let's say a simple example, if you want to develop an application in Java, let's say it's taking 8 days. If you want to develop the same application in Pega, it will take 1 day. So that means that you are saving the time, that implies that you are saving the money as well. You are saving money, you are saving time means you are saving the money indirectly. That is directly proportional. So that is the main selling point for the Pega. So that is where clients will look into it. So if they want to save the time, they need to go for this kind of tools which are ready-madely available. So there are a lot of features already ready-madely available. They can directly use it. We don't have to build those features from the scratch again. So that is why the development time is faster comparing with Java programming. Of course, even this Pega tool is certainly developed using Java technology only. So Pega tool is developed using Java technology only, but once the tool is developed, so we use this tool and we develop the applications using the Pega capabilities. But we don't write a single line of code in Java in Pega. So that is the first point why the clients or industry is looking into Pega. So because the development time is faster, so it saves lot of time as well as money for the customers. And then agility in development. So why it is agility in development? So many Java program, I don't say all Java technologies, but 90% of the Java technologies generally will follow waterfall methodology. So in the waterfall methodology, what will happen is, if you want to see the end product, if you want to see some end output, you need to wait till the end of the your project. Like it will start from requirements and then design, and then different phases will be there, like construction, testing, and then finally the end product will come out. So if you want to see the end product, you need to wait till the end of the end product. But in the Agile we have a concept of Agile methodology. So you must be heard this word somewhere else. But Agile, all Pega applications will be developed in using the Agile methodology. We don't follow waterfall methodology. Pega don't recommend following the waterfall methodology for Pega applications. So in the Agile methodology is a big concept. You can get a lot of information in Google again, just to give some heads up on that. So in the Agile methodology, what people will do is they will let's say I will explain with a simple example. So you want to develop some product, and then you want to include 10 features in the product. 10 features in the product. Now if you take the waterfall methodology, you collect all the requirements required for all 10 products, and you go for all the phases in a sequential execution, and then the product will be released. But if you take the same Agile methodology, what we will do, we'll take one feature at a time. We'll take one feature, and then so the entire requirements will be divided into a smaller chunks. We call them as iterations or sprints. So each iteration or sprint will end in 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks, we'll try to within one sprint or within 2 sprints, we'll try to complete one feature. Like in each iteration, all the steps will be repeated. In each iteration, in each 2 weeks, the requirements will be there, the gathering will be there, construction will be there, testing will be there, deployment will be there. That means that you are deploying for each sprint or for each feature. So at the end of the sprint, you can see some end output you can see in the Agile. So for each sprint, you can see some output, but whereas in the waterfall, you cannot see that. So that is agility in development. And moreover, the main benefit of this one, if requirement changes suddenly, you can immediately implement it, because I mean in every sprint we have requirements. But if you say in waterfall, so once the requirement phase is completed, so during testing phase, if some other requirement came, you cannot implement it directly. So you need to again follow the same process from the starting, so that there is no agility in the development there. So that is the agility in development that also helps the clients in fast development of their applications. And then, so for any technology, it's not only Pega, not only Java, so integration is very important. So that tool should be capable of connecting to other systems. So Pega also having a lot of integration protocols. It supports REST services, web services, LDAP servers, Hadoops, file servers. So all whatever the industry provides, all the integration points Pega will support. So there is no issue with integration as well. So in the same way, if other systems want to connect to Pega, so Pega also can connect to other systems. In the same way, in other systems who also want to connect to Pega. So in that case also, Pega supports all the protocols which are generally industry, whatever the industry generally uses. And then one more advantage of this Pega tool is there is a motto for Pega tool saying that build the application for one device and run the application anywhere. Build the application for desktop and run the application anywhere. That is possible because of this UI. So without any additional coding, without any single line of additional coding, the same application will work in multiple devices. I will show you that one. I will show you some existing application. Can you go to mute so that if you have any doubts you can unmute and you can speak, otherwise you can go to mute and the recording will be proper. This is one of the simple applications we developed for one of the existing batches. Let's say so whatever the application I am running is I am running in the desktop. This is my desktop. So let's see. So in the desktop, the look and feel is like this. You can see header is there, some logos are there, some left side, some part is there. So now you can see some more extra part will be coming. So here the some extra part is also coming. So this is how it looks in the desktop. This is a simple application. Some hiring process, how interview process will be taken by HR department. So if you want to automate that using Pega, so we did that in the one of the demo, one of the batch. So here, so this is desktop application. If you want to, let's say, if we reduce the resolution of the screen to mobile, so our laptop. So let's do it for. So let's do it for laptop. You can see this is a laptop. This is how it laptop size will be. So in the when I go for laptop, you can see there is no overlapping in the in the content, and you can see left side part is hidden. That is became like toggle. Let me further reduce it to tab. So you can see screen is adjusting according to the resolution. There is no overlapping at all. There is no overlapping in the content. But you can see the description is gone and symbols are coming. Let me further reduce to mobile. This is how it looks in the mobile. So it's still you can see there is no overlapping in the screens. So that is the main feature of the Pega tool. So we have responsiveness. That means that build the application for one. Hello. So if you run.
Hello, Subhash.
Yes.
This is a feature of the tool, right?
Yes. Yeah, this is a Pega feature. So in older versions you cannot see that. Only in Pega 7 you can see that version. So in older versions, if you reduce the application size, it cannot be reduced automatically. So you can see, if you observe clearly here, there is no horizontal scroll bar. There is no horizontal scroll bar. So if you open any website, let me open some website. Let me open ICICI Bank. Let me reduce to mobile. This is also working fine. So let me open, because this is also maybe developed using some kind of technology only. So if you open like Google, let me open some google.com, maybe it is also. So now you can see it's not responsive. How can I say it's not responsive? It's not moving, it's not adjusting the screen. You can see the horizontal scrolling is coming. Wherever horizontal scrolling is coming, that means it's not responsive. The website is not responsive. So, but when I go for ICICI, it's responsive. It's clearly, if you see clearly. So this is desktop. When I run the same in the mobile, you can see the screen is automatically adjusting according to the resolution. You can see there is no overlapping here also. In the same way, Pega application also will work. That is called response. That is the new feature that is introduced in Pega 7. Many of the BPM tools won't have that one. They won't support BPM, this kind of responsiveness. So because here internally Pega uses latest HTML5 and CSS3 code, because of that one responsiveness is possible. But here we are not spending an extra amount of time to convert automatically into different different layouts. Okay, so that is one of the feature, like it automatically converts its UI according to the resolution of this device. So if you are running the application in mobile, that is how you can see the device. If you run the same application in desktop, you can see different look and feel. If you run the same application in laptop, you can see different look and feel. And there is no overlapping in the screens, and there is no overlapping. There won't be any horizontal scroll bars as well. And then one of the main feature here is for any for BPM, this Pega tool here is inbuilt developer portals. So if you want to develop some Java applications, we need to install some tools, external tools, like you need to install some IDEs. It may be Eclipse, or it may be NetBeans. You need to install some tools, some external tools to develop Java application. Once the application is developed, again you need to, if you want to store the data in the centralized server, again you need to go for some more tools like RTC or Star Team, something to store the Java code. Again, once you store the Java code to build them, so from Java code we need to generate the dot class files. We need to build the classes. So to build that, again we will go for some something, some more tools will be there for the integration part. So we are using different tools for different purposes in Java programming, but here you don't need any external tools. You just need the Pega tool that should be installed on your system, so everything you can develop in the application. Let me log in as a developer here. Let me log off as end user. Let me log in as a developer. And the main point here is, let's say if you want to develop So let's take the same example. So you install your IDE, that whatever NetBeans or Eclipse in your personal office laptop or desktop, and suddenly you want to work from home, or you want to work from some other country, or some other, you went some more place and you want to work from there. But you cannot work in those scenarios because the actual tool is there in your one system, but we cannot connect to the tool and you cannot do it. But here in Pega, so we are developing an application. This is a browser-based application. Pega tool is a browser-based application. Pega tool is a browser-based application. So we are building on top of Pega tool. So by using this URL, so if you have internet wherever you go, you can connect by opening your browser. You just need the URL and you need to connect to your server by using our VPNs or something. But wherever, because browsers will be there in each and every system, you don't need any external tools. You just need the URL for connecting, and then you have your credentials. You can log in with the credentials. You can develop the application. This is how it looks like when you log in as a developer. So it's providing a lot of flexibility for development. So it's not like you need to install in one system. So system is, no need to install any softwares in one system. It's a browser-based application. So just need to connect to some server where the application is running. So because it's running in local system, that is why I'm using local host. If you're running in some, let's say the server is in US, so now you are in India. So if you want to connect to that system, you just need the URL to connect to that one. You just need the URL to the server. Your company might be giving some VPN to connect to that server. So once you connect to VPN, you can directly access the URL, and you can open your application. You can develop. That much flexibility is there for the developers here. That is also one of the benefit of the Pega tool. So of course, all the applications will provide, all that programmings will provide debugging tools in the same line. So Pega also provides a lot of debugging tools. If something goes wrong in the application, so to debug that issue, so Pega also provides a lot of tools. You can see in the bottom, these are the debugging tools Pega providing. So we'll discuss in detail about those in the actual content. So Pega also providing debugging tools for that. So we have a lot of advantages of Pega, but still Pega also faces some challenges. So what are those challenges? So the challenges here is the reporting in the reportings. So Pega provides reporting capabilities. It's not like it won't provide reporting capabilities, but it provides reporting capabilities up to 20,000 records, 20K. If it is going beyond 20K records, so the performance of the application will be reduced. So that is a challenge, because not only Pega, many I can say 99% of the applications who we generally use that for some other purpose, reporting will be very challenging. Because if you want to retrieve millions of records, let's say if you want to retrieve 10 lakhs records, so if you want to retrieve the 10 lakhs records, and then it will take, definitely it will read the data from database and you need to display on the UI, it takes definitely a lot of time. So in the reporting. So that is why Pega also provides one more application where only it is useful for the reporting. We call them as a BIX product. That is one more product of Pega, and by using that product we can retrieve the reports at any number of reports. But this tool, whatever Pega we are learning, this have some challenges in reporting. It will get only 20,000 records only. After 20,000, the performance will be reduced. And then debugging in production. So sometimes suddenly some issue happens in production. So some debugging issues will be there. So like you can say, it's not like we can do debugging in production, but the point here is when comparing with other technologies like Java, so the debugging will be lesser, because we are not there is no Java coding here, but internally we write some. Generally, if you write Java coding, what people will do, they will write some loggers. They will write some loggers, and based on that you can write your own message in the log. Based on that you can identify it. But here we are not writing any Java coding. System is generally internally creating some Java coding. We don't write any Java coding. So that is why. So because the system is generating, as a user I don't know what system is generating. So that is why it is somewhat difficult to debug in a production. So for debugging in production we need some kind of Java knowledge. So that is the place where we require, if you have that kind of exposure to debug kind of issues in production, so you need to have better to have some kind of knowledge in Java. There is one more challenge. Without Java knowledge, without some other traditional technologies, we cannot directly debug in productions. If any exception happens, so up to some level we can, but further if you want to debug, you need kind of Java exposure. And then this is simple how the simple sample UI, sample examples of UI, how we can develop simple UIs. This is how it suggests screen based on the resolution of different devices. Okay, this is why the people are looking into Pega. So even there are challenges, but these are very rarely happens, and then so we have more advantages rather than the disadvantages. That is why industry is looking into that one. Now, if you have any questions for, regarding this content. Yep. So let me go through what type of topics I will cover as part of this course. So generally I divided the content into day-wise, but it may not work as per my schedule. Definitely it will go skip. Sometimes it will take more than time. Sometimes it will take less time. It depends on the conversation we are having. So in the first day we'll start with software installation. We will provide the software if you don't have, and you can install that one on your local system, and you can start practicing whatever I am doing. In the first 2 days we'll discuss like what is Pega architecture. We'll discuss like these things. First 2 days will be more of theory part. There won't be any practicals or there won't be anything, but the first 2 days is very important. Does it work on Mac? So I think it will work on Mac only, but I mean it works in Macs as well. But I don't have Mac. I didn't test on the Mac, so you can try that one on the Mac. I think it should work because Pega supports all kind of operating systems. But I need to see that one because maybe there may be different version for because this is a personal edition, not the enterprise edition. I don't know whether it works on Mac or not, but you can try that one. If it doesn't work, definitely there is no other option. You need to have some Windows server only. Okay, so we'll see like first 2 days will be more of theory part. We'll understand the core part of the Pega. So what is classes, what is inheritance type of what type of inheritance we have, and how the organization will work, and what is the development tool we have. We'll go through that one. First 2 days will be like that. From day 3rd we will build one application. So I will give you 3 options for building an application. So out of 3 applications, you can select one application as the demo application, and then one more application you can take it as a assignment, like hands-on application. So whatever the topics we are discussing, I will be showing for my application. So whatever we decided to do, and then you need to complete that one first. Whatever I am doing, you need to complete the same thing, and then you need to do assignments as well, so that by the end of the training you will get 2 applications. So we select the application in a way that all the topics are covered. It's not like, so once we know the topic and build any kind of application, but the main motto of creating the application is we need to implement those kind of topics on the application. So we need to have some use case to implement those topics. So we will I will also discuss those applications as well, but we'll start that one from day 3rd, and we will build the application using the case management capabilities. So again, during the building an application, so Pega provides some faster development tools. So I will also tell that one. Along with that, as a developer, you need to know how to do it manually. So without tools also, how can we do it? We can also discuss that one. And then from day 6 kind of thing, we will discuss like what type of properties we have in Pega and how to handle them, how to store the data in those properties, and we will see. And then we start working on the UI. So what type of UI whatever UI capabilities we have in Pega, and how to handle different UI capabilities we will see. And then we'll also see like how to build the business logic. So what type of capabilities the Pega has, we'll also see. And then we'll also concentrate more about UI once again, and we'll do UI stuff again in day 10. So once we're done UI part, kind of UI part, then we'll go for validating. So what are the data you are doing? We need to validate that. So how can we make it mandatory? How can we validate the data, whether we are providing valid data or not? So we'll do some kind of validation here. And then we'll discuss like if you want to get the data from the database or if you want to get the data from some source, how can we get it and how can we display on the screen, we will discuss in these days. And then we'll also see, because this is a BPM kind of application, so process will be there, how can we do conditional processing. So how can we conditionally execute something, how can we conditionally skip something, we'll see. And we'll also see like declarative processing means, it's a very big topic at high level. So without running what we say code, so we generally, if you want to do some logic, you need to call it somewhere. If you let's say if you want to create some method in the Java, you need to call it, you need to call that method to see the impact of that method. But here Pega, we have without user calling, system will decide when to call it. So that is called declarative processing at high level. So we'll discuss more about that in those days. And then, so for any BPM, decisioning is very important. So how decisioning is capable to directly work in production. So I want to directly update the data in the production. So how the decisioning will work. So those kind of things we'll discuss in day 15. And then, so because this is a application, lot of actors will be involved. So actors involved means I have to assign the work to somebody. Assigning means routing. So how can we assign the work to somebody and get the work back to us, and how to handle these kind of scenarios we will see here. And when you assign a work to somebody, you need to set some time bounds. So let's say one customer applied for credit card, and then so if there is no time bound, so the process of the employee of ICICI can take I mean more time to complete the application. But if I keep time bounds, like I am saying, while designing the application, I am saying credit card application, I am saying you need to complete the processing of the credit card application within 2 days. If you are not able to complete that within 2 days, I can also configure escalation actions in the system itself. There won't be any manual intervention, so we can automate that one here. So by day 17, we have 2 levels of certification basically in Pega. So we cover CSA level certification topics. We cover CSA level certification topics in the CSSA level depth. So we have 3 levels of certification: CSA, CSSA, and LSA. So here we cover, our main intention is to completely cover CSA certified topics, and at the same time, so we want to enable the students to directly work in the real-time projects. So with that view, we also came up with some advanced topics which we generally require to directly work in real-time projects. We'll also, those things will start from day 18. After day 17, we'll share some PPTs, so which will give you some more theory part. So my training program will be more on practical rather than theory. So if you want to know more about theory, I will also provide some PPTs at the end of 17 days. You can again go through them and you can take the certification as well. And after days 18 or 19, we'll discuss about in a multi-developer environment how to handle it, and some advanced topics like how to build the complex business logics. And we'll also see like how to do background processing like agents or schedulers, how can we configure, and how to integrate with other systems. Like if you want to connect to SOAP service from Pega, how can we connect it? If other systems want to connect to Pega with SOAP service, and other systems want to get some data using SOAP service from Pega, so how can we do it? So here we'll discuss those things. And we'll also see this, what are the reporting capabilities we have, and we'll also see debugging tools, how if some issue happen, how to debug the issues we'll see here. And at the end of the course, we'll see like how to document the application. Generally we have, if you develop some application in Java, you need to manually write the documentation. But here Pega provides some tools for that again. It's in the inbuilt. You can use that and you can develop the documentation for that. Once you document the application, you can modify on top of that one. And once development is over, how can we take the code? How can we deploy it to some other system? So I will also tell you there are a lot of tools here. I mean, the word may be very high here, but the work will be very simpler in Pega. Okay, and so any technology requires best practices. What are the best practices we have in Pega? We will discuss those things. And then what are the new features in coming? We will discuss that one. So generally the overall course will take between 30 to 35 hours. So each hour means, one day will take 1 hour. That means it will take 30 to 35 days. Okay. And once the course is over, we will give 1 week buffer time for your practice, and then Once the practice is over, after 1 week, you can ask Ashok to schedule one more meeting to just discuss about your doubts. And on each day also, I will spend 5 minutes time for the first 5 minutes to clarify your doubts if you are practicing on your system. I will directly work on your system, and I will fix in your system directly if you face any issues and if you are struggling anyway. And then, so this is the content we are following, and then my methodology will be, I will be providing notes like this. So every day I will be giving notes. Day 1, what we are discussing topics, and what are the diagrams I am drawing here, and I will be keeping here like this. So it will kind of notes for you. I mean, this will help you to recap your content. So along with that, we'll also provide you the recording videos. So you can, I mean, Ashok will guide you through how can we record. So you can directly record the videos, and you can store it in your local system, and whenever you want, you can watch them. Okay. And then, yeah, and we're also giving assignments. So because whatever the assignments, whatever the topics we are discussing, based on that, I will give assignments that on the application you selected. So you need to complete that one as well. So but it's not like I'm not sitting with you and I am completing it, but because you proactively should work on the assignments. So it's not like because we're not children, I feel. So you need to work on that, and then if you have any issues, definitely I will be there. If you don't work, I'm pretty much sure I'm saying, if you don't practice, even if you listen for 30 days, after 60 days you will forget everything. Without practice, it's not only Pega tool, it may be any tool. Without practice, you cannot get it. Because if it is a technology kind of thing like Java, you can learn it. You can read the content, you can read some theory part, you can learn it. But if it is a tool, you need to practice it. Because on practice only will get the exposure. Without practice, so after 30 days, you may remember about 45 days or 50 days, but after 70 days, 80 days, we'll forget everything if we don't practice. That is for sure. And that is a overall thing. If you have any doubts regarding this one, you can ask me now. Otherwise, we'll jump into your questions.
Yeah, Subhash. Do we need to know Java for this?
No, that's what I'm saying. So for development, we don't need any Java coding. But if you go to I mean, generally production, I mean, who will do production debugging? Like if you have tons of experience in this tool and you have a lot of experience in Java, generally separate people will be there. They will choose separate people for debugging productions. Developers won't generally do production debugging. So during that kind of level, you need some kind of Java coding. But during development, for developing an application, we don't require any technology. Not only Java, we don't require any prior knowledge on any technology. Okay. So now coming to your questions, how many applications we build as part of the application? As I said, so here we're not building any specific domains, because let's say you are coming for healthcare, somebody is coming from some other domain, but I came from communication domain. Okay, so I don't know what will happen in the insurance. I don't know what is happening in some other domains. So if you want to build an application, you need to have domain knowledge basically. Because this is a process oriented. Without the domain knowledge, you cannot build process oriented applications. So that is why, so we don't build any domain specific application. We select generic applications where it can reach to anybody.
Okay.
So, but our aim is, it's not like building application on any domain. Our aim is to implement the topics whatever you're learning on the application. So once you know the topics, you can build any industry specific applications. It's not a big deal. But here we are not building any industry specific applications, but we are building generic applications. Let's say I'll give you 3 options here like this. So HR application. That means that if you want to, let's say, if you want to automate the interview process, so how can we automate the interview process using Pega? So here we will use all the Pega capabilities, and we will use that. So once you know the topics and once you know how to implement it, you can implement the same thing in your domain specific application. So here, because this is generic application, everybody knows how interview will happen. So collecting information and then going for review for HR, and then from there conduct interview, deciding the compensation, and then sending an email, and then onboarding process will start. Onboarding again will be having different steps. So those kind of, how can we handle these kind of applications if you want to build a Pega we will do that one. That is one application. So one more is warranty application. So once you buy the product, so generally let's say you bought some product in the Flipkart, and then suddenly some issue is there with the product. So generally what will happen? We'll call up the customer care, and we say them that I have the issue with the product. What the first question they will ask is, do you have the warranty? So yes, if you say warranty, we have warranty, then they will raise some SR request on behalf of you. So how can we handle this warranty application? Like how the warranty application will happen internally. So once you raise the warranty, they don't give you the product. Internally, it will have a lot of processes. Like it will go for review, for first review, and then it will depends on how many products you are raising. Based on that many warranty internally will hit that many SR requests automatically. So each request will be having same kind of process. You go for review, and then in the review they will verify whether you have a valid warranty details or not. They need to attach your warranty proof or invoice, and for technician for the actual technician. They need to verify your product whether the issue is there really is there or not. Once the technician is approved, issue is there, they will go for replacement. How the replacement will start again. So if the issue is not there, there is no meaning of warranty. They will reject the warranty request. So how can we handle this kind of process using from collecting the information to replacement of the product? How can we handle that? And in each stage, how can we notify the customer through emails? So whenever the status is changing of the application, so you will get some email notification. How can we configure those email configurations? And then one more application I will show you here is, because these are generic applications, purchase order. Purchase order means in the case of B2B scenarios, like in offices generally. So let's say you joined office, you need laptop, desktop, mouse, everything. So how will they get? They will raise some orders. So some vendors will be there. So they will raise some orders for the vendors. So here we'll discuss that one, purchase orders. How can we raise the purchase order in the B2B scenarios? You can also convert the same thing into B2C, like Flipkart. We cannot build a Flipkart, enter Flipkart, but you can UI wise you can compromise something. So, but the process wise, but the functionality wise, we can build that kind of application using the purchase order. So out of these applications, you can select one as the training application. So that is what I am building, and then you can build one application as an assignment application. And then you need to build the application whatever I am doing. At the same time, you need to build the other application I am giving as an assignment. Okay. And if class are missed, I think I have given the answer for this. We can get the videos, so you can see whatever you want. Well, weekends will be considered. So generally, sometimes weekend batches also will be there. So if it is based on the flexibility only, we cannot guarantee that every weekend will take, because sometimes weekends batches also will be running. On the timings, we should be flexible. So sometimes I won't be available on weekends. Sometimes you guys may not be available. Sometimes I will be having some batches on weekends as well. But whatever the slot we are giving for this batch, that slot will be keep on running anyway. But if we need any additional classes, that is based on the flexibility of availability of all the person, all the stakeholders. Okay, and what kind of application will build in training? So I think we have discussed that one. So video backbacks will be give, and we will also provide materials. We will also provide materials after CSC. We'll also provide some sample. So we'll also share you some documents like resumes, sample resumes. What are the materials we have here? So after training, what type of exposure we get. So as I said, if you don't practice, you don't get anything. That is for sure. So if you just listen to the training, and if you don't practice it anything, you cannot get any exposure. But if you practice, definitely you will get doubts. Not like, because I know Pega, so without getting any errors I can go. But when you are practicing, definitely will get doubts. When the doubts are get clarified, when you practice each and every topic, whatever I'm discussing, definitely you can keep 2 years of experience in your resumes. You can keep 2 years of experience in resumes, so you can manage 2 years of experience related work. Keep in the resumes and you can go ahead find jobs.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, hi Subhash.
Yeah, hi Raghav.
Yeah, actually, as a background developer, what was our daily task in organization? What you do exactly daily basis?
In the real time you're asking?
Yeah, real time.
The same thing, like whatever you do, like requirements will be coming, so we will convert the requirements in technical requirements, these things will be there, and we'll create some stories. Stories means that is actions, whatever you need to do. So based on the application, let's say you want to build some credit card application. So I have seen some banking applications for creating credit card applications. So the creating credit card application, so we need some domain experts will be there, because I am not from banking, so I can discuss up to some level that may not be accurate. So who will give complete information? The domain experts will give complete information. So who is working in the banking industry, they know what is the process that is happening in the credit card applications. They will define the process, and then you need to as a developer you need to build that application using those requirements. So they will say like first step you need to collect the information, second step you need to review, you need to send for review, and then they will give us some generic requirements, and then you need to build the applications for that. That kind of work will be there in real time. So requirements, the same thing will be, requirements will be there. You have to build that using Pega capabilities. So by
Is
seeing
there
the
any
requirement,
routine activities in the organization? Is there any some routine activities?
I didn't get
Like
question.
we
Can
used
you
to
come?
do this activity every day. Is there any kind of that situation?
Activity means what type of work activity you are saying in the
Is
what type
this
of work
what?
you will do?
Yeah.
The same thing. Develop. When I said development, you need to develop the screens. Let's say I will tell you something. So let's say my aim is to develop the HR application. So they will give UI mockups, right? How it looks, how it should look like they will give UI experts will be there. They will give UI mockups, and then based on the mockup, you should know what are the rules you should use for developing that kind of UI in Pega. What are the features we have in Pega, and by using those features, we need to get the information. Let's say I run the same application. Let me log in as a manager. So this is a simple application, so you can easily understand. Let's say, so UI person is giving the information like this. UI person is giving the information like this, okay? And then they will give the mockup like this. So the mockups will be there, but you don't know how to develop this one without knowing Pega capabilities. So this is how UI will be. I need to collect candidate information. I need to collect address details. The address may be permanent or permanent or present. So when I give present address, the same address is, if the address is common, I need to get it. So if you want to integrate with UI, so this is, I give India, I need to get the country cities in the India. So now it is getting the cities from the India country. So this is integration part. So this kind of, so they will give high level requirements like this. If I give India, I have to get the city names. They will give a requirement like this, but you need to know how to integrate, what type of services you should use, and how to integrate with Pega. And then if you want to copy the data from here to here, what type of logic you need to build. See, when you click this button, tick box, the data is copying here, right? So this kind of, they'll give this kind of the same, I mean the end output will be other applications only. So however you build a Java application, the output will be same like that, but the internally the way we are doing will be different. We'll use different rules. I mean we call them rules here. So we'll use different rules for each and every function. To copy the data from here to here, we do different rules. To connect to some other system, some source service, and get the information, city names here and display it, we'll use some other application, some other rules. So by using all of Pega capabilities, we call them all whatever Pega is, we call them rules. So by using these Pega rules, we need to develop the applications. And when I click next, what should happen? So it's going for collecting your education information. So in the education means what type of, you will be having multiple information like 10th class, intermediate. So you need to capture multiple type of information. So how can we handle this? So like that, it will give mockups and you need to build that UI. So they will also tell the functionality. When I click next, what should happen? When I submit it, what should happen? So based on those requirements, you need to modify your application.
Okay, as a Pega developer, what kind of teams do we interact in the organization?
What kind of teams means you are saying DB teams like that?
Yeah, actually you're saying that we need to interact with the UI team.
Yes, so generally UI team will be there. So that just depends on again where that varies on company. So it's not like there's no standard. Some people what happens is the separate DB teams, DB administration team will be there. They have are handling the DB kind of stuff. So in some organization, developers itself handle the DB things. In some organizations, separate UX team will be there. In some organization, within the team only, some UX developer will be there. So it depends on the organization, not depends on the Pega, it not depends on technology. So if even in Java also, if you ask me what type of teams will be there, it depends on the organization only, not based on the technology. In Java also, single person can handle all the things. He can do development, DB management, he can do development, he can do deployment, he can do a lot of things. But it depends on the organization hierarchy, how they are structuring the application. Based on that, we will do. But in general in Pega, we will be having separate mockup. UI team will be there. They will be giving UI stuff, how the application should look like, how the screen should look like, and then developers team will be there anyway, and then project manager with the same structure will be there. Wherever when you develop some project in general technology, same product owner, project manager, and then industry experts, other people will be there in your project. And as a developer, whatever we discussed, I mean, once they give the finalize the requirements, we need to build that one. But by
Okay,
using the Pega, we are changing technology. That's it. But the process will be the same.
yeah, Subhash, and one more question is like what kind of roles we can apply apart from the developer?
So, I mean, here you are saying the Pega after training
Yeah, I mean, what kind
in
of
general.
roles we can apply for a job?
So in Pega generally we have three kind of roles. One is system architect who is actually developing. One is a lead system architect. So who is handling who is doing the administration of the Pega applications. But after
Okay,
this training, develop we can apply for only for as a developer, like system architect, not like lead system architect.
okay. And how about the openings for the Pega now?
So in India we have a lot of openings, and in US also we have a lot of openings, and they pay higher for Pega resources because the number of certified resources are very less across the world. We just have 25K across the world Pega certified people in Pega. So there is a lot of demand for Pega developers, and definitely, but you need to have staff for
Okay,
but you have a lot of things.
okay. Then you mean to say 25K certified people are there for CSA or
Yes,
CSSA
CSA first level.
first level, and for CSSA?
CSA second level we have less number of I don't know exact figure. So generally that is Pega generally company will be giving those kind of statistics for every
Okay,
quarter.
so with your training topics,
It will
will
be
it be
CSA level. Yes, yes,
possible
second level.
to see SSA?
Yes, second level.
Okay, yeah, fine.
Okay. So that is from my side. So if you don't have any questions, we can wrap up for today, and we can discuss with Ashok for further things.
I mean, after this training, you mean say we can apply for a job.
Yes, and after training also if you get the job, we'll also give real-time support based on the payment base. So I mean, I'm also giving support for real-time projects. So once you join the project, and if you need any support, I will give support on hourly basis based on your requirement.
How much it will be around? Is there any approximate price?
Saying amount you're talking about money.
Yeah.
That varies. That depends on different. I mean, depends on the geographical region, based on certain parameters. Not like fixed amount.
And any
We'll discuss
approximate
that later.
amount per month like that.
Pardon? So hourly basis, we'll take hourly basis. Generally, we'll take like $20 per hour. So we are
Okay.
doing for US, UK and US students right now, And if you need that is only after you get the job. If you need really support, generally even if you go for once you go for real-time projects, so if you feel somewhat difficult there, so to help you in initial days, we'll give support real-time projects as well.
Okay. So
Okay.
with this training, can I join as a 3+ years experience then?
Pardon? Can I join as a?
With this training, can I join as a 3+ experience person?
Yeah, 2 to 3. Not like 3. You can keep 2 to 3. And once you practice, I can say you can join as a 2 to 3 experienced person. Not more
Okay.
than that.
Actually, there's a requirement as a 3+ experience. So I'm just looking forward to it.
You can try that one. You can keep 3 plus or 3 2. You can try that one. Not a problem, right? You
Like they
can.
are expecting 3.5 years.
Okay.
So can I join like that?
In that case, what you can do is you can keep like 1 year in other technology and 2 years in. If you have total 3 years, so you can keep 1 year Java, 1 year whatever previous technology, and you can keep latest 2 years in Java, Pega or something. But if you need really 3 years in Pega, but interview questions will be somewhat tougher. Further, you need to really have some real-time exposure, as well as you need to practice rigorously. The topics may be simpler if you see, it seems very simpler, but once you go to 10 days after 15 days, you can definitely feel like it's somewhat, I don't say it's pure, it's very difficult, it's hard to read, it's hard, but without practice you cannot get it anything. That's what I can say.
Okay. The work will be same, right? For 2+ years and 3+ years. There won't be
Yes,
much
that will
difference,
be
right?
safe. Yes. Even I can say a lot of fake profiles are there in industry. So many I can see many, I know that. So once you join the company also there also you can see a lot of fake profiles. So where the real people will be there only 1 or 2 in your team. So there won't be an issue for you as well. Because all will come same background.
Thank you. That's it from me.
Okay then. Yeah, we will wrap up for today and it's already 1 hour 15 minutes.
Yeah, fine, Subash.
Yep. And thank you for joining and thank you for your time. Have a good day.
Thank you. And one more, Subash. You work for which company?
That is that I won't share.
Okay, fine.